All right. There we go, folks. Sorry about that. Had to take a moment to get everything all lined out. Seems I'm still having a little bit of a visual bug there. What's that down in the corner? What is that? What is that there? Apologies, folks. Minor technical difficulty. No, it's still there. That's odd. It's not like I've got an extra window open there. Everything's right where it should be. Still there. Oh, there it was. Alright, alright. I see. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. Got that fixed. Anyway, I'm back. So, the game I have for you today is a new one that I've picked up. This is called Rings of Saturn, DeltaV. It is a top-down space sim game, very much in the veins of the old Escape Velocity game, for those of you who probably need ibuprofen on a daily basis. I do mean that. For the rest of us, this game is probably closest to Endless Skies, which was another follow-up to it. It is a top-down space game, like I was talking about. You pilot a ship around into space to go and do things. And in this particular game, your goal is mostly mining and exploration. You will take command of a ship and a crew. You will go out into the Rings of Saturn to gather valuable ores from the various asteroids or iceroids that are out there, because it is actually mostly all ice. And bring it back to the station for money. There's quite a bit of resource management in this. There is some personnel management that comes in as well. I've been playing it solidly for the last 3 days. Like, this game has sucked more time away from me than any game I can recall in recent years. And the last one that I can remember getting so avidly caught up in that I lost track of time that hard was Halo Reach. Drew, if you're out there, you know exactly why too. But anywho, so we're going to hop on into this. Now, for the benefit of those who haven't played this game, I am going to start a new file. The other file that I've got, I'm getting out of the early game and into what they would consider the mid game, I suppose, and discovering stuff. But I want you guys to see how everything is from the start, because that will also help you, because this game has it's a steep skill curve. And I wouldn't even say necessarily skill, it's just there's so much to it. This game is so in-depth. The developer who put this together, I cannot recommend this enough. Like, holy moly. Parallel universe. What? I don't remember that on the last time I clicked play. Let's go. Parallel universe. Ooh, can I get Yep. 42 is always the answer, folks. If I can get it. There we go. And I am enjoying the name of our ship right there. The JG4 Asgardian Atom. We'll go with it.
You have to question everything.
Ah, darn it. It did it again. No. I'm getting you guys to watch that, because I didn't get to watch it the first time either. I had to adjust the audio, and then had to redo it. Alright. We're gonna try that again. ETH 2525 Cold Tyrant. Considering recent events, that feels somewhat fitting. Alright, I want to listen to this.
You have to question everything. Why do people go missing in the rings? The company blames pirates. But why would anyone resort to piracy? There is no money to be made there. No glory. Only fear and, ultimately, death. Why would you choose that life? And why doesn't the company just blow them all up with an orbital strike? Don't tell me they don't know where they're hiding, with that array of telescopes watching everything.
I'm sorry this is so quiet. I do wish I could turn this up, but I haven't figured it out yet. Ooh, narrow miss.
The company wants you to be an obedient little drone. Master ever doesn't care if it shoots ice, rocks, ships, or stations. They know that, and they hope you won't figure it out. They aren't your friend. Question everything.
Aside from the audio issue, that is a good entrance to this game. Alright. So here we are at the station at one of the moons of Saturn. That is our ship right there. The ETH 2025 Cold Tyrant. This is a model K-37, which is the starting ship for this game. It is small in the terms of like other ships in this game, but it is a mighty little thing. You can actually get this outfitted pretty well. And I do. In this case, we are starting out pretty low. Just 20,000 credits, which is not going to last long. Honestly, it's not. So, as you can see here on the left, we have a full array of menu options. There's the minerals market, where you can see how the market is doing currently for the different minerals that are available in the rings, and what you can bring back and how much you'll get for it. There is an entire repair system. Your equipment, your ship will degrade over time, and you will need to repair it. Either from impacts, from the very rare combats that come up, or just honestly running into stuff. Services are for dealing with yourself and crew. They are like entertainment places, hotels, places you can stay, all different costs, all different qualities. Tuning, you can further tune your ship to be better or worse at things. Like if you want to be better at movement, you can do that by, tuning in your drives and kind of wearing them out a little bit quicker to get a little bit more out of them. The equipment obviously is where you'll purchase different pieces of equipment for your ship, trade them out. The dealer here is the ship dealer. This is the shipyard where you buy them. You have your fleet, which is your own log of ships, your crew, your logs, and then of course the launch button. Now in this case, again, we only have 20,000, so there's not a lot we can do at the moment. Our ship is very simple, it will do the job, and that's really going to be about it. Let's see. Yep, I got just enough for this. This is an upgrade I highly recommend right off the start. Cargo baffles. It doesn't explain it very well, but so this is kind of the the image of how your cargo looks in the ship, and you'll actually get to see this while you're flying around, and it will fill up. But the baffles are these little things here. They're little arms that allow the ore to fall in, but not fall out. And that actually can happen. Like, if you are flying around and you have to hit your brakes really hard, there's a chance your cargo can go flying out the other side. And you'll have to chase it down again. And we won't be able to afford much else as of yet. So really, I just wanted to get that. For the reconnaissance, yeah, I don't have enough for that yet. That'll be the next upgrade we want. But anywho, let's get going. So, this is the image of the rings. If you've ever studied old NASA pictures, this might look pretty familiar to you. We are flying in from our station, which is way out here to the side, which you can't even really see. If we zoom in, we can get more specific on where we want to be. Now, there's a chance that we're not going to end up there. Oh, there's already a marker in the gap. So the flashes of light there are indications of ships or other things that you can go check out. I'm getting a little far in. I don't have that kind of money. So we'll just go for it. I want to get a little bit closer to the ring. I don't want to have to fly in for 5 minutes. Which is a thing. Travel in this game is real time. You can get going up to a certain speed. You can actually get this thing moving pretty quickly. But the faster you move, the more likely you are to run into things. Which can be a problem. Because it is not the most maneuverable tub in the world. It's, yeah. What was that line from Firefly? She don't look like much. But you treat her right, she'll take you where you need. Alright. So the mouse wheel here is the zoom button. I often play this game just hideously zoomed out. Getting a little bit back towards, the older games. So this little square here is our momentum. This is the direction that the ship is moving, regardless of what direction we ourselves are pointing. If I hold down the left mouse click, I can cause the ship to reorient in whatever direction I need. If I hold down the right mouse, I can change what direction we are moving. The circle is telling us where we're trying to go. The square is telling us where we are going. You'll get kind of used to it when you get to flying around. You can also do this manually. You can use the WASD keys, though I don't honestly recommend it. Q and E are for rotation. I've tried that for a while. I really did. I ran into more things than anything. Now, you can lock into things. Your computer will lock on to various objects, either asteroids, ships, minerals, whatever it is you're grabbing. And much like the orientation around the ship when we were just free moving, I can move that circle, and that will move us in relation to that asteroid. Or whatever it is we're going for. Now, you'll see up there in the top left, we have our LiDAR. Now, LiDAR is not radar. If you've ever used it, or seen somebody use it, it is quite different. LiDAR is more or less shooting out infrared beams, and those beams are hitting whatever they're hitting and then bouncing back. The LiDAR is then measuring their location based on how long it takes to get there and back, and it can tell you whether or not they are moving closer or further away. On the LiDAR, things that are moving blue are moving closer to me. Things that are red are moving farther away. But it doesn't actually tell me what they are. Later on, I can get more advanced equipment that will tell me. Like, I can get particular things that'll tell me, like, what is in the asteroid, or what is likely in the asteroid at any rate. So you see there the cargo holds in the bottom left. That's going to give us our rundown of what we have. In estimation, of course, because everything moves around again. Bottom right there, we have our ship status. So that's telling us which thrusters are being used. How much propellant we have is the whole thing. So you see how the nose cone there is blacked out a little bit? That's the propellant that we have used to get here. We have our battery below that, and of course our reactor heat. Your reactor will burn depending on where you're going and how fast. It'll burn coolant, it'll get hot. Also really depends on what you're doing. So, beyond that, up in the top right, we have our general stats, being everything from our propellant to how long it takes us to get home, to our DeltaV, which is kind of our momentum rating, I guess would be the easy way to put it. The lower your DeltaV is, the harder your ship is to maneuver. And you'll notice that as we start to fill up with little bits of ore and such, it will get more difficult. We also have our mass driver ammo. Our mass driver is that gun that you saw in the very beginning there. We're going to take a large metal slug, use magnetism to fire it off at high speed, and hope to break something. You will get other weapons later on that are better. Of course, we have our ship mass, power draw, all that fun stuff, and then all that plays into too as well, but not as much as everything else. Now, also, you'll notice up there is the onboard maintenance system there. Now, that there is showing me all the different things that I've got attached to the ship. So, if, for example, I wanted to, I could click 1 and turn off that mass driver weapon. That way, it doesn't accidentally fire off if I'm trying to scoot around. For now, we'll turn that back on. The other thing there is the visual feed. So our ship is also linked into the specialized cameras that are on the space station. The space station is now broadcasting a live feed of where we are. The blips of light that are showing up are ships, either mine or others, depending on their location on that screen. It is not accurate, but it will tell you if something's there. So here we've got the mechanics section. So this would be if we needed to alter or change how things are performing. You'll notice that by changing out the misalignment chart here, we change everything else with it. Now this can actually be really useful if you start running into stuff and you do get damaged, because you can change things to compensate and get your ship operating better, at least for the time being. The astrogator here is our navigator. Obviously, when we start finding more things, that will start to fill up the contact list here. When we find space stations or large asteroids, things along those lines. The geologist. So this is telling me about the things that are nearby. This is the active LiDAR here. Again, red, blue, all that fun stuff. When I do have a geologist, I will be able to actually click through these and filter this to the minerals that we are looking for. The pilot here. Now this is list of nearby ships. I don't know if they're friendly. I don't know if they're not friendly. I could message them and find out. They may threaten me, or they may just be like, hey dude, what do you want? It happens. But anywho, I'm not going to fiddle with that for right now. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty mining. So we've got this little asteroid here. We've got our mass driver selected. I'm going to hit the space bar and fire some shots. Now you noticed I had to wait for that second line. Alright, I don't have a geologist. I can't really tell what these are right now. That's something I'm going to pick up almost immediately then. Your crew does cost to hire. And they do cost to maintain, because you got to pay their salary. And that can get a little rough off the start. Come on, get moving there. So now you see, by changing our vector here, the ship is still tracking with this little piece of ore that we're about to grab. And the plus 11 tells me that I am getting closer by 11 meters per second. The faster I'm going, obviously, the better that gets. We have our overall distance to target there at the bottom. And this we can change just like we were with that other asteroid. So I can try and approach it, I can fall away from it, I can follow it. And basically whatever we need. I'm betting a lot of this here is just regular old iron. Oh, yep. Okay, so you see there in the bottom left, our hold. That's telling me what we have in there right now. So it looks like we've got a bit of water, because that's going to come in with every little bit of asteroid or nice. And that actually can play in later on. That one is taking off. Okay. And one thing I've definitely noticed is the more valuable these little chunks are, the faster they fly away. It's a little bit annoying. Later on, you can actually get manufactured drones that will track those down for you. Pull them closer so you can just, you know, pull them into the hold really easily. You can even actually get a manipulator arm that not only grabs ore, but also grabs other things. Like if you find a derelict ship, it could grab that and you could tow it back to the station and claim it as your own because it's derelict. Alright. Now this game is a little bit slow-paced. I will be blunt with that. Especially in the early game. There's not a lot really going on. Ooh, that chunk right there. Let's see if I can catch it. Ah! Nope, not quite. We're still trying, though. Ah! Alright, in this case, I need to back away from it and then grab it. I've used my own ship to slow it down. Haha. Alright, anywho. That other chunk's probably long since gone. Oop. There we go. So one thing that can help you out, not only is there that secondary line that you could follow to get that lined up, the square and circle will also tell you if your ship is oriented and moving in the direction you need. Because remember, mass is the thing here. Now, when you get the better equipment, you're going to be able to actually navigate what things are and kind of judge out what it is you want to spend the time and effort to get. So, like, you know, I don't really want to be picking up just iron because iron isn't worth much. I don't want to be picking up just water either because, again, it's not really worth that much. I want palladium. I want tungsten. The V there is silver if you happen to be a science nerd. At least I believe it's silver. I'm not much of a science nerd myself, which is kind of odd considering my profession. I make glasses for a living. You think I would be? What? Slow down. No, don't run into it. Now, one thing that can help you out, your thrusters are actually putting off a good amount of little propellant, and that can break these. I've had it happen more than a couple times to where I've been trying to chase something down, just about to run into an asteroid. I can spin the ship and fire the thrusters at it, and by doing so, break whatever it is I'm about to hit. There are also other pieces of equipment you can get later on, like there is a point defense microwave system. It's basically a turret that targets anything that gets too close to you. You know what, we're gonna go get that piece, since it likes to stay in my screen there. Watching the LiDAR tick away there. But yeah, there's a lot to do in this game. I'm gonna be blunt, guys, though there is a very comprehensive manual flight system. I still like the autopilot here with just the mouse driving. It works out well. Nope, almost. Nom. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have been doing that the entire time I've been playing this game. I got one coming right at me. Oh, thank you. We thank you for these treats. Hilariously, I have actually had it happen in my other save file where I was just cruising through a place trying to get somewhere. And there was a smaller asteroid like right in my way. So I went ahead, turned on my mining laser, shot the thing, and rather than flying off in a random direction, it flew directly at me. So I ended up like scooping this thing into the jaws of my ship at something like 60 meters per second. And not only does the ship, you know, judder as it now picks up this piece of mass, you know, mid-flight, but it makes this loud clunk as it does so. And I could not stop laughing. I really couldn't. So you can see on the bottom left there, our cargo hold is about half full at this point. Now, it will list more space open, but the mechanics of the cargo actually follows the shape of what we're picking up as well. It's not just a random drawing, it's actual representation of what's in the cargo hold. So you see, like, when I start backing up there, all that cargo shifts to the front of the ship, and that's why we got the baffles. Because otherwise, everything would have flown right up to the front. And yeah, the excavator arms would, or the excavator mouth would have kept them from flying out in that particular case. If the mouth had been open, or even cracked open, that would be a whole different story. Oh, that thing's gonna get away from me. That's fine. That's fine. We're here in the early game, so I am just picking up what I can. I have no clue if any of it is going to be worth a dang. Until it's in the hold. And since I got the baffles on there, it's not like I can vomit them all out and go find something else. Alright, so you see there, top right again, I'll point your attention to that DeltaV stat. That's that little triangle V. It's the symbol of Delta. Now it's getting low. We're currently at 3304, which means that the mass that we are carrying is getting to the point to where our ship can no longer really manage maneuvering with it. And you can tell from me doing that, the turns are sluggish at best. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this get away from those asteroids there. We're going to hit X. When you hit X, this is going to just cancel all of your momentum, and it's going to bring your ship to a stop relative here in the rings. I do that in particular because we're going to go back to the station. So let's see, we're going to go to the astrogator here. We are going to select Enceladus Prime Station. I hope I said that right. Enceladus? I don't know. Splattercat calls it Enchilada Station, and I get why. But anywho, we're going to plot course back. I still haven't figured out exactly what it means, match velocity to trajectory, because, well, I'm not doing that, I'm just sitting still. This is the only way I could get this to work. If I was continuing to fly forward, it would tell me that it was failing. So, we're going to fly on back to the station here. Alright, there we go. So, this is all the ore that I brought back in, which is honestly a little more than I expected to get for all of this. 70,000 is a good haul this early in the game. Now you have two options. You can sell it all, or you can put some into storage if you want. Now that is going to come in mostly later on if you are trying to play the market. At the moment, I'm not. We need to gather up a bunch of money to get what we need and get the ship going. So, like I mentioned, so the next pieces we're going to look at, probably right now, is going to be crew. As you can see, I have no crew currently. The crew for the ship, I have up to 4 of them. There are different stats that come in that are related to each of these crew members. The adrenal slowdown is for your pilot. Your pilot has the ability to where they can actually slow time if you were about to impact something or if it really starts getting crazy. It is very useful, actually. Then you have the repair limit and the jury rig efficiency. That has to do with your mechanic. Jury rigging is if you need to do any repairs like way out there in space, like you really messed up, you hit something really hard, or you got jumped. Jury rigging can get those parts up enough to get you home. The repair limit has to do for when you're here at the station and you need to repair things. Like right now, by myself, I'm not a mechanic, I'm a captain. So I can fix things, but only up to 70%, which is basically the point where they start malfunctioning. Price prediction accuracy. 10%. I am likely to be 10% accurate on my prediction on how much that ore is worth. And that has to do with the geologist. And finally, we have the tactical awareness and the coordinate tracking time. That has to do with our astrologer. So for right now, we're going to see who's here. Now, each of these people have their own boosts, I guess you could say. The least experienced people are going to be the cheapest. And you can tell here on how they're going to help your ship. So, like Larissa there is a self-taught pilot with beginner experience. 3,500 per month and to higher. But I'm getting better adrenal slowdown and better course anticipation. Now we have Eve Lim, on the other hand, is another pilot. She's self-taught and no experience. So only 1,300 a month to hire her. We'd get better course anticipation, but the adrenal slowdown would be basically the same. Noah there is our first geologist. Self-taught and beginner experience. Basically better at everything on there. I have a self-taught astrologer with no experience. Ooh, see, he's expensive. Caleb Herschel there. He's an astrologer with high education and expert experience. He is better in big, but that's 25,000 a month. Considering flight times right now with a new ship, that's not really the best for me. Yeah, the boost would be nice, but probably not right now. So let's see. We've got a pilot here with high experience, or high education and no experience. 1,100 a month. Tracy Pike. We've got another basic, expert experience, another astrogator, another pilot with journeyman experience. Our first mechanic, basic education and beginner experience. 1,200. Or sorry, 12,000. That one's expensive. We got a pilot there. It's 17. Geologist. Alright, not a lot of options for geologist right now, and that's the one I'm looking for the most part. Because the geologist is going to help me be more accurate with the ore. So I guess we'll take Noah on for the time being. And beyond that, let's get ourselves a mechanic. Well, no, the mechanics we got on right now are not great. So we'll bring in a pilot. I'm thinking Larissa there. 3,500 is not bad, and I do need the boost to the piloting. Let's see. And the next thing I'm going to need past that, I do need to get the rest of the crew, but probably not for right now. I need to get the ship a little bit more efficient. So there is the mass driver still. I would like to get a microwave emitter instead, because these don't use ammunition. The downside about the microwave emitters is they're very slow. Very slow. You'll be beaming a rock for a little while before it breaks. The other cool part is because they're not a kinetic weapon, the chunks don't just go like shooting off in a random direction. So we'll leave that for right now. We can add more hard points. These ones here are low stress, and then there's high stress. High stress, you can get bigger things. Low stress, obviously smaller things. In this case, I don't really see anything that I need per se right now. This one, for when you're first starting out with flying, actually might be worthwhile for you guys. This is an impact absorber. It essentially acts as a shield for your ship. So if you put that on, and when you go flying around with it, when you go to bump into rocks, it will take the impact for you instead. We've got the kinetic ammunition, which is in a projectile magazine. That's fine by me. Now, getting a more expensive propellant tank actually can be worth it. The more propellant I have, the faster I can get back to the station. So that might be something I'm thinking of. I don't want to fiddle with the thrusters or engines just yet, because in order to do that, I need to upgrade the fuel rod. The fuel rod is what allows our reactor to heat up, and therefore basically supplies power to the ship. Through our power plant, which is a turbine. And we don't need an auxiliary system yet. The MLF autopilot, you can look into. I haven't fiddled with this one too much yet. The heads-up display is interesting. So there are actually different heads-up displays that you can pick up in this game. For those of you science fans, you might recognize a friendly face already. Well, maybe not so friendly. HAL 9000 is one of the options. And that is what it looks like. Now, I have flown this. One of the ships that I have in my other file has this right now. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Because it puts all of the stat information about the ship up in a very small menu at the very top. Beyond that, your information windows are also very small. It's not my favorite. That's why it's only 500. There is the one for the Eagle Prospector here, which is a different kind of ship. It's alright. It really just compacts everything down into one bar here at the bottom. K225 is for another large ship that we don't have. The Eagle Prospector also comes in metric, for those of you overseas or in Canada. The OCP T09 is another large ship that we don't have yet. The Eon Interstellar, and the old Kitsune. For right now, we're just going to keep with our K37. It works just fine, honestly. So let's see here. We can trade in for the gravimetric, which honestly is probably worthwhile for right now. It's running a little bit more on cost than I would like, though. Actually, I might hold off for the moment. So we'll get another dive in, and we'll just go from there. So with this, if you did want to fiddle around with it, you can actually drop the amount of propellant you have, or carry less ammunition if you want. I'm not doing that, because honestly, I need it right now. Later on, when you get a better processor on your ship, like an MPU unit, for example, that can actually process the minerals, it will burn off the water, the ice that is attached to those minerals, and convert that into propellant. So you can actually start your mission with a lot less propellant than you would really need, because it will refill as you fly. It's pretty cool. I haven't really fiddled around with it because I just got it in my other file, but, you know. So it's kind of funny because basically your ship hard burns into the rings here, and then you drop in. At this point is where you shed off most of that forward momentum and just kind of come in. So we're not very far into the ring. The further you get in, the more expensive stuff you're going to get. I mean, like right now you can see we are not even a full kilometer into the ring itself. So what I can do is I'm going to increase velocity up to, let's say, 35 or so. And I'm just going to let this thing float for a minute. Oh yeah, one other thing I should mention. In getting crew members, there are other things that are going to pop up as well. They all each have their own dialogue. They have little stories that'll show up every now and then, little mini quests that they'll give you. It's actually pretty cool. It gives a lot more personality to it. Yeah, pardon me one moment while I grab a drink. Figured I'd spare you all the sound of me drinking. I don't know about you, but I can't stand it. Yes, I am one of those poor fools. That when I hear somebody, like lip smacky or like sucking. Oh, buddy, I can't stand it. There's just a primal anger. Ah, see? Alright, there we go. That's the box now. So that is actually telling me what that is made of and roughly what it costs. The more experienced my geologist gets, the more accurate that gets. Yeah, that one's also got platinum. You can see that's roughly worth about 4,800. Now, platinum and palladium are typically around the same pricing. Typically around like 2,500 or so. That can fluctuate, of course, with the market. Silver here is worth more for sure. And tungsten and beryllium worth even more than that. You also see that one's got a lot of ice to it. So while it does have a decent amount of mineral to it, it is also going to take up a lot of room in my hold. So you'll find that it's going to be a bit of a balance. You'll want to be a little bit picky. See, like that one? That one's only got 600 kilograms of platinum and like 5 kilograms of ice. Since I don't have an MPU unit to deal with that ice, I'm not taking it. Yeah, that one's about an even split. I'm okay with that. Now later on, when you do get those ore refiners and processors, and I do highly recommend getting them as soon as you can manage, they are essentially going to eat off the water on there, but the ore has to stay towards the back of the hold. That's where the heating elements are. Yes, that's right. They essentially use heating elements like your toaster. Oh, there we go. That's a beryllium one. See that? Even though it's only 230 kilograms of material, it's almost 5K. Beryllium is very expensive. And now I have to chase it down because beryllium likes to fly away. Oh, also, I have a radar contact. What is that? Okay, they're active. I'll grab that beryllium and then I'll hail them. Now that I have crew, I could get some better dialogue options for it. Ooh, I saw that flare there. I had to guess he's another miner. Alright, let's kill off some speed here. That was MRS 8198. This is Tired Impact. You seem lost. Could use a wingman. What are your rates? Ah, yeah, so that's another thing. When you run into other miners out here, you can hire them, actually. Which I thought was a really cool feature. See? Ah, there we go. My pilot knows them. Larissa Smith. I'd hoped to never speak with you again. Oh. Or Larissa. That's not the dialogue I was hoping for. Oh, buddy. Tired Impact has seen better days. It'll still outperform Cold Tyrant, which is my ship. Probably. Most things outperform my ship right now. Just saying. Alright, so if I maintain distance here, I'm not going to run right into that asteroid, but I can fire some shots off at it as I pass. Break it up a little. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let's get closer and get this platinum. Now, if a dialogue option does have something that you can respond to, you'll see it pop up on your screen, of course, like the people talking, and there will be the square for J. J being your onboard maintenance system, which is also how you communicate with your crew. See, there's another chunk of beryllium. Almost 600 kilograms of beryllium and 12,000 creds. Ugh. I'm trying not to run into rocks here. Yelp. And there's another chunk of beryllium. Oh, they do love to fly. I'm not catching that. Oh, buddy. That's where the drones come in handy. Oh, yeah. That there was the sound of my capacitor running out of juice. This is also just kind of the general ship warning. And there goes... Wow. Teasing me now. You're teasing me now that I don't have drones, you rude-ass machine. Space is a cruel mistress, I tell ya. Oh, buddy. Alright, that one's coming towards me. Ooh, that's a good chunk of silver. So yeah, the opening up of the mouth of the ship there, and there... Wow, man. Oh, hey, that one got slowed down. I can catch it. Is it worth it, though? No. Nope, but it helped me get away from that. And that right there was what I was talking about with the adrenal. That's why having a pilot is a good thing. Oh hey, that beryllium stopped. Oh yeah, I see, because it ran into something much larger. Oh, that's just iron. Ow. That's platinum, I'll take it. Alright, looks like the beryllium's hanging out with that iron right now. I might have to try and snag both of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to snag both of them. This is why the manipulator arm would be worthwhile. It would grab the one I want and leave the other. It will be on my list. Rest assured. Oh. Oh, geez. I was getting shot at. This undeclared fox, you seem lost. No? Oh, he must have been firing his mass driver. Okay. That's not so bad. Yeah, the NPCs that you run into out here that are also mining do have their own equipment and ships as well. They could have mining lasers, they could have mass drivers. All of those things could be potentially dangerous to me. Yeah, it's just platinum. Not that much of it either. Tungsten. It's a tiny, tiny amount of it. Not really worth me chasing it down. Yeah, it's a lot of water. Not really looking for water. That's platinum. That's a pretty decent amount of it right there. That's one of those other mining ships. See, 42. Did I talk to that one already? Nope, I haven't yet. Watch out, Cold Talent. There's nuclear residues around. I smell piracy. Alright. Now, quick bit of note, actually, because I ran into this one myself. Oh. Alright. See, my ship was getting a little bit heavy to maneuver around like this. The DeltaV is getting low. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to arrest our movement. 51k is not great, but it's enough for me for right now. I'd rather do that than run the risk of breaking my ship out here. Or increasing the travel time, because my propellant and transit reserve have gotten too close together. Honestly though, guys, if you're ever looking for just a chill space sim game, I'm telling you, this is the one. Alright, so what do we got? Yeah, we made about 51k, which isn't great, but I'll take it. It's enough that I can easily look into getting the rest of the crew that I need. So who do we got today? We still need an astrogator and a mechanic. See, I could take on Karina here, who is a self-taught mechanic with no experience. Very low cost, but the repair limit would be exactly what I have. So I'm actually going to look elsewhere there. Hope that another one pops up. There we go. So we got Karen Robinson. She is a basic and beginner mechanic, but it is 12k a month, which is pretty significant in and of itself. Sorry if you see me moving over here. My old hound, Lusky Bagel Hound, has come to say hello. Yeah, hi. Hi. I'd point the camera at you if I could. Alright, so not much luck there on finding a new mechanic, but we do have an astrogator that may be worthwhile there. Otto is basic with no experience, so it's only 7k a month. Basic beginner, 10k a month. Self-taught, no experience. It's better than what I have, which is honestly kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll actually take her on. And though she's going to be the most expensive person on my crew right now, I might consider the mechanic. Maybe. I need to get the ship a little bit more efficient before I do that. We got the cargo bay baffles, we got that, we've got the reconnaissance craft. Let's get that gravimetric going. Actually, I can get the manipulator arm. It's 42,000 though. And then I would still need to buy the microwave emitter on top of that. So what I might do instead is we'll get a microwave emitter on the other arm. Let's see. Now I can also get cargo containers. These don't come in until you've got a actual full processing unit. It will store the processed minerals, which is kind of cool. The mining companion's pretty nifty too. This is basically a little drone that you're going to send out. It's going to do some mining and then fly back to the station with. So for right now, 70,000 for that microwave emitter. Let's think here. Getting the extended propellant tank would help out with travel times. The thrusters I don't need to fiddle with yet. Can't afford the fuel rod yet. The ultra capacitor would be nice. See, the capacitors allow you to store more energy, which is great. So like when you were seeing me earlier when I was firing off that mass driver in rapid succession and the alarm started flaring, that's because I was running out of power in the capacitor. I could get a more efficient turbine that will produce more power overall. It won't help with my capacity, but it will help with the recharge. Could be worth it. Still a little bit more before I can get an ore purifier. Yeah, there are of course better lidars you can get as well. This one here is beam informed. I still haven't entirely figured out what the better part of this is. I guess it does speed up resolution, but it focuses the LiDAR directly in front of the ship. So I wouldn't be getting like the full tactical map of what's around me. Just whatever I'm aiming at. There is this one instead, which has a slower refresh rate, but gets you more detail. Let's get that gravimetric. It's gonna be one I'm gonna need before long. Alright, so we got 80,000 still. I think we're just gonna go ahead and go with that. We're gonna try and dive a little bit deeper into the ring this time. You see how that brings the cost up for my travel rather significantly. So I've got to make certain that I'm gonna make enough to still make a profit here. That's the tricky part, is just figuring that out. It's how much you can bring in versus how much you're spending to get out there. If you guys are liking the game so far, please do drop a like. Go check this one out. It was not at all expensive when I found it on Steam. If I remember correctly, it was around $5 to $10. And for a time, and it might still be, the game was actually free. You could get the full game by playing the quote-unquote demo. That's because the creator of this game really wanted people in Ukraine to be able to play this to just kind of distract themselves from what's going on over there. He wanted to make it free, but he couldn't make it free for just the region using Steam. So instead, he made the demo free and basically the full game. Honestly, I think that is really cool and genuinely selfless. This guy deserves all the support, because I mean, look at this. Look at this game. Like, I've been fiddling around looking for space games for a long time. I was a huge Escape Velocity player. And I mean that. I put so many hours into that game. I played the ever-loving heck out of it. And it wasn't until I found Endless Sky that I even found something that resembled close to it. I did play EVE Online for a little bit, and to be honest, that hit the spot for me. Right up until I got swindled by another person. EVE Online, I do like it. Go check it out. It is hideously in-depth. And I mean that in every good way that I can. It is very in-depth. The graphics are great. The sound design is amazing. It's fantastic. It is a giant MMO, so you can play with people. I highly, 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 highly recommend getting yourself into a good corporation, because that is going to make or break that game for you. You want the other players. You really do. You want the support. Just flying solo in that game, yeah, it's alright, but you're gonna get screwed over. You're gonna get blown up, and you're gonna end up having to rebuy everything. And it's gonna be terrible. You're gonna hate it. And don't make the mistake I did. I do not recommend wormhole space. The corporation I joined up with was a wormhole corporation. Cool enough dudes, but small small-time operation, and unfortunately none of them were active enough to actually keep up with where all the wormholes were. So every time I would log in, it was a whole brand new adventure, man. Maybe I'm going to find a wormhole out. Maybe we're just trapped. I don't know, because wormholes in that game are random. Another reason I definitely want to get the emitter is because I could just hold down that trigger rather than having to hit it with a single projectile like I'm currently doing. So for those of you paying attention, you may have noticed that my LiDAR map up on the top left has changed. It's gotten cooler. So the gravimetric readings there, the colored sections are where there is heavier stuff. That could mean that there's more ice, it could mean that there's more ore. Won't know until I get there. That's the downside about the gravimetric, is it doesn't really tell you what it is that you're about to find, it just tells you that you're going to find it. I still haven't entirely figured out how to read it yet either. The sections seem to shift and change depending on the density of the asteroids around that area. Yo, hold on. What's that radar contact there? You see that little yellow triangle? I think it's a derelict ship. Let's check. So go pilot. Limited meme. That's an interesting choice. You seem lost. We're looking for someone. Does Addie Reynolds fly with you? Never heard of her. Okay. Not on my guild manifest. Please stand clear of the excavation area. I see no claim. What are you going to do about it? Okay. So that's another thing that's in this game. People can actually lay claim to areas. You can even. You can get a claim beacon which says that, hey man, I am mining this chunk of space. Don't touch it. You know, just like a gold claim. A lot of NPCs claim it, but they don't have it. Hey, that's a good one to pick up. Look at all that silver. And not a lot of ice either. I will take it. Nom. Blah. That's just a little bit of silver, just a little bit of iron. Okay, not that much to me. So you see now on the LiDAR, we're flying into an area here where we should have more things. I'm not seeing much for LiDAR contact. It's probably because I blew up the one that was there. That happens. That's just iron. Way too much ice. Iron and iron. 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 A lot of iron around here. That's platinum, but it's getting away at a decent clip. And more iron. Alright. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to orient the ship onto this way here. We are going to kick up the thrusters a little bit, and we're going to go a little bit deeper into the rings to see what we can get. I do got to keep an eye on my transit reserve and time. But we're just going to float on in and see what we can find real quick. Alright. And already I'm starting to see what I want. You know, notice there on that LiDAR, those blotches are changing color. They're going from blue to purple. Now, on that scale there on the right of the LiDAR, that tells you how dense it is. Blue is less dense, red is more dense. So we're getting into the area we want to be in. We are going to find heavier asteroids and better ore, hopefully. Alright, so there's our first victim there that is inside that red area, or at least close enough. Ugh. Come on, there we go. Take it. That's right. Your people do gain experience as you do things. My geologist just got a little bit better. If you just noticed there, I did just run into a small little asteroid. But because of the way my thrusters work, I was able to pulverize it before it did any damage. Nomp. That's some palladium. Nomp. That's a good chunk of silver right there. I'll take it. Nope. That is also a good chunk of silver. Oh, I'm gonna have to try and cruise to catch that one, though. That's moving at a fairly decent clip. Now, in this case, I'm going to spin the ship around so I can get the main thrusters involved. Oh no, 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 don't hit it, don't hit it. Oh, ow, I even hit on the reactor side. That's not good. I'm not seeing any major damage as of yet, but let's check hail error. Now, see, that can be a couple of things. That could be a pirate, or it could be a derelict ship. Unfortunately, neither of which is really useful to me right now. Because I don't have... Yeah, see, there's a little bit of damage there to the reactor. Fuel rods being jammed is never a good thing, but changing it up isn't gonna do too much right now. So I guess we'll just leave it as is. There we are. Man, the small ones are hard to hit. Ah, just iron. So many shots wasted on that. Yeah. Can't burn that large thruster too long. Ah, close. Come on. Get in my belly. Iron. That is platinum, but not a lot of it. I suppose I could start getting a little less picky. In the interest of saving time. I don't mind if I do. Nope. Oh, that's a good amount of platinum. I would like that, please. Bonk. Ah. Arrest my momentum there. Alright, there we go. It's just a small amount of platinum. That's a fair amount, I'll take it. Just the tiniest amount of silver. That's a decent amount of tungsten, I'll take it. Ooh, that is a good amount of tungsten. Yes, please. Look at that. 20K. Ah, spicy. I like it. Decent amount of platinum. We'll take that. After we chase it down. Alright. Sounding like I might need to take a momentary break and let my dogs out. So after we get through this here... Alright, that one get past the baffle. Yeah, see? You can see now there at the bottom of the screen. My cargo bay is so full that the stuff is not even making it past the baffle anymore. It's getting caught up into the entrance where the mouths open and close. And that can become a problem because now stuff can fly out of there. Alright, so we're going to go here, we're going to plot a course. It's going to do that. Yeah, if things are too close to you, that's what that little inner circle is. If they're too close, you won't jump. "16-hour transit time." That's where having that larger fuel tank is going to come in handy, because it will reduce that, because you can full burn more. Alright, 95,000 there. Whew, that's not bad. Mostly thanks to that large chunk of tungsten we picked up. Alright, we're going to sell all that. That's going to give us a decent boost of money there. Alright guys, I'm going to place you on hold for a couple moments. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I gotta go play with my dogs for a moment. Alright, and I'm back, folks. So let's go ahead and resume this. Let's get back into it. So we just got back, made a decent amount of money out of that. We can easily get the last member of our crew that we're going to need. Oop, wrong button there. That's going to be our mechanic. And would you look at that? We've got a good one right off the start. Alrighty. Now, as far as the equipment goes, I have more than enough finally to get a few things. I'm trying to decide if I actually want to get that microwave, the manipulator right now. I know it's definitely on my mind. The big reason is because with the manipulator, I could pick up a derelict ship if I run into one. That's going to be the tricky part. It's if I run into one. But if I do, that is a huge payday. So I think I am going to do that. So in the high stress point, we're going to put the manipulator arm. And for our low stress points, we're going to put a microwave emitter. That's going to be about all the money I've got at the moment. If that's the case, I might go back to using the mass driver for the time being. No, the microwave emitter really just is better. We're going to risk it a little bit on cost, but we're just going to go for it. Let's see. Oh, I see. So, for the maintenance for putting in the arm, we are going to be taking a little bit of time. Looks like 1 hour. So let's see what we got for... Let's see, repairs. We're doing okay there. Services. Yeah, actually, we're gonna send my guys to the Twins. A renowned entertainment establishment located in the Twin Towers overlooking the rim of Ensalada Station. Famous for your all-you-can packages. This establishment serves organics only. So we're going to do that. It's going to cost us a little bit, but it'll help to bring up morale for the ship. And as far as the ring dive goes, I'm going to have to keep that as low as I can because we just got to build money up. Alright. This might be a little bit of a risk. You can go into the negative with your crew. They will not be happy about it. But assuming that you make the money on the trip, you can pay them on return. I had that happen once or twice in my first file as well. And thankfully, again, they weren't happy about it, but it worked out alright. Hey, my astrogator has gotten a little bit better. So one thing I'm noticing there, my reactor temperature is a little lower than I would like. We'll check out my maintenance here in a moment. Oh no, okay, there it goes. It's building back up again. Alright. So let's see what we can see. So for the moment, I'm going to hit 1 and turn that arm off. I don't need it right now. We're going to hit the gas, we're going to float on in, and see what we can find. Looks like we might have a couple high-density things coming up. Not seeing anything visually yet. There we go. Get us up to 35 meters per second. And we'll just cruise on in. Now, one thing to note, even though you have pulled up this menu, this has not paused the game. The things flying around behind you are indeed flying around behind you. The scaling's a little bit off, though, so it kind of drives me nuts. Oily Buffoon, what are you doing here, Ringa? Barry Sem, I'm Camila Reynolds. Hey! So that was a little mission that my pilot had there, was to let that person know that one of their relatives' ships went down. We'll see if there's any more dialogue that comes up about it. Alright, so there we go. There we are, firing our microwave emitter. Rather than using a large projectile to break up the stuff, it instead uses microwaves, which kind of heats up the asteroid and causes it to break up. The interesting part about it, one of the reasons I like about the microwave emitter is that it actually fires in something of a cone. So even though it's firing like ahead of me, it's firing ahead of me in like a 10-degree arc. Which is pretty cool. I mean, that's actually, that can be really useful. Universal Soul misses you. Okay. Well, my pilot's popular. Oh, nice. So this is going to give me a large LiDAR contact. No, those can be a couple of things. They can be large asteroids like moonlets. It could also potentially be a derelict ship. My astrogator will have logged it. That is 207 kilometers from here. 156. I'll save for another trip in. Because that does mean an hour of fly time. They genuinely mean that. That's even with me flying at 50 meters a second, which is crazy dangerous in the ring. Now, the other good part about going with the microwave emitter over the mass reactor, or mass drivers, is that it doesn't cause them to go flying off in random directions. It'll be the same way with the mining laser when I do eventually afford one of those, and I intend to, because buddy did that make mining quick. Basically the same idea as a microwave emitter. You overheat the rock and cause it to break up. Just significantly faster. Nope. Oh yeah, I still haven't shown you what that manipulator arm does yet. Let's see if I can find us a good target here. Nope, that's just iron. That was nothing at all. It do be like that sometimes. Ah, there we go, there we go. Alright, so turn that on. Whoop, oh, that was too fast. Alright, so my manipulator arm has shot out and quickly grabbed that rock. You can see it held there. Now if I hold down the center mouse wheel, or center mouse button, it drags it into my mouth. This can be helpful if you're looking to pick up specific things. But unfortunately, this arm does just kind of grab whatever's in front of it. Now, one way that you can work around that is you can come over here to the geologist, and you'll notice that we have all of the different elements that we can find here. And we can turn things on and off. So like in this case, I just turned off that it would grab unmarked things. So it'll only grab things that are identified. Water is, of course, turned off. We want beryllium on. We're going to leave iron off. And we'll probably leave the others on for the moment. Just because I do want to get what I can. Looks like we do got a little bit of silver behind us. There's no tungsten around. And no beryllium either. Alright. So that silver was behind us, it was saying. So let's go get some of that. I'm seeing a radar contact. Okay, that's the BLT. Okay. The cool part is that the ranges on these weapons are actually pretty significant. Now that I've got everything all together, I've got my geologist, I've got my lasers, my baffles, and all that, you can tell I'm being a little bit more selective about what I want. That's because I'm trying to maximize our profits per run. As that is going to help you out to get your new things faster, to get your upgrades, to get your new bits and pieces, or new ships even. Right, so once again, I'm going to turn on that arm so you can see. Oh, it's already trying to grab it. Yoink. Now, eventually, I'm going to be able to get a hold of bits and pieces that'll actually let me identify things better. So I can actually lock on to things and see what is inside of them. Or at least an estimate of what's inside of them. That'll make this whole game just way more efficient. Right now, though, we're trying to save up so that we can get a processor. The fun thing about processors is that once you have them set up, it's just like what you're doing right now. You're going to fly around, you're going to pick things up. The processors don't have the baffles. I do wish that they did, but they don't. And what the processor is going to do is it's going to break down the minerals that I'm picking up. It's going to get rid of the water and kind of condense it down. But by breaking it down and processing those minerals, it's going to move it into kind of an alternate, I guess you could say almost like a side storage. You have your hard mineral storage, which is what we see displayed on the screen there, and we also have refined mineral storage, which appears to be something else. Oh. Another big LiDAR contact. We'll check that out here in a second. Let me bleed off my speed. Go to the astrogator. So my astronomy... Oh, that one is not that far away. Well, 38K is a little far away. That's 12 minutes of flight, which isn't terrible. If I wasn't on stream, I would probably do it. Just kind of send my ship off in that direction, grab a cup of coffee, or, just wait. But in consideration of your guys' time, I'm not going to do that to you. Let's see. Did I talk to the BLT? I did talk to the BLT. There's a little bit more tungsten. We'll grab that, and then we'll grab that silver too. Nope. Whoosh. Grab. Nah. Yes, the arm has all the dexterity of a small child. So if you are moving in a direction, it will totally throw it off. That's just iron. The funny part about the ore processors that I've found is that they actually make a really funny kind of slosh sound. I mean, it's not really a slosh, but I mean, that's kind of how I'm envisioning it. Because like when you move around and the ore needs to be in the cargo hold in order to be processed. If it's not, the processor will just automatically turn off. What it's doing. And it makes a sound when it does so. That honestly just kind of makes me chuckle. Because it's what it makes me think of. It's like a slosh. Like I turn the ship too far, the little bits fly up towards the mouth. And my ship's like, nope, not processing anymore. I'm getting a good amount of tungsten out of these asteroids, so that's good. Would be nice to have some higher concentration chunks, though. Because that right there, that's 3.5K of just ice. If I had a refiner, that would be great. Because I would be able to top off my propellant with that. But I don't have a refiner. One other little bit of fine-tuning that I forgot to do. On that same tab where we can tell the machines on what they want to grab, we can also set a minimum value. If you leave it at 0, it will just pick up anything. In this case, I want to get anything higher than 2K in any of those minerals. And now, anytime that I fly up to one, it has to be at least that much for the computer to even consider grabbing it. Like, it would grab that one there, but I'm not going to go near it personally. Let's see. Now, seeing the gravimetric, we need to go more right. So let's cook up a little bit of speed here and go get that. Like that there. That is a 4K chunk of stuff. It's got more ice than I would like, but I'm going to take it anyway. Because I need the money. Yomp. All the grace of a toddler. I don't know if my thing can hit it from this range. Doesn't appear to be. Well, I guess it was. That's a good chunk of silver right there. Not much ice to it. That's a good chunk of tungsten. 12K for that. We're going to grab it. We're going to grab it now. Now, sometimes, honestly, even though I have the manipulator arm, I'll still fly without it. Mostly just because its movements do affect the ship's momentum a little bit. And that kind of bugs me a little. I like my ship to fly straight and true. In a manner of speaking. This tug does not. It tries. It tries. There are a couple of good ships out there. The other one I picked up was the weird triangle-looking one in my other game. I just started using it. It's kind of funky. It's kind of funky. I think it definitely needs the hull drones more than the tug drones I've got on it. So that, for those of you who don't know, the tug drones are basically little palm-sized drones. They'll fly out from your ship and they will grab chunks of ore and stop it from moving, making it easier for you to pick up. The hull drones, on the other hand, are a little bit more expensive and a little bit more resource cost, but they will actually bring it to you. So you can just load that on up into your ship without any problem. And the ship I picked up is just not terribly maneuverable at all. There we are, another big LiDAR contact. And that's why you want crew. Alright, give me a second here and I'll see if it's worth our time. Alright, Astrogator, what are we looking at here? So we got that one that's 37 away, that one's 109, that one's 207. None of them are really an easy flight. It might be better for us if we actually exit the ring and then come back in. Because this is even plotting, that's 12 minutes at 50 meters per second, which is very fast, and I don't want to do that. So for the moment, I think we're going to hunt down just a couple more asteroids. We'll fly back to the station. Looks like we got 84K in the hold right now. So we're going to be pretty alright. We're going to make that due date for the monthly pay no problem at all. Just as long as I don't spend too much time out here. That one's getting away at a fairly decent clip. Don't really know if I want to go chasing it. Oh, see, we are at the point where they are not making it down into the processor anymore. That is the time that I typically fly back home. A little bit of space from those little asteroids. And we're going to plot a course back home. That sound that you're hearing in the background is those two getting stuck up in the excavator mouth. It is okay. They are technically in my hold. And see that they fell through now that we've started jumping. And this is the cycle, guys. You run around, you upgrade your stuff. Now there's, like I mentioned, there is exploration in this, and we are going to do that here in this next run. We're going to pick up one of those LiDAR contacts and go check it out. First, we're going to sell all of that. We're going to fiddle with the tuning a little bit. Now, remember I mentioned earlier, you can fiddle with the tuning here to improve things on your ship. In particular, what I'm looking at is upgrading the microwave's power. The increased power of the microwave will widen the cone of irradiance as higher power microwave refracts within the radiation dish. I'm doing that because I've got a little bit more power than I really need, so I've got room for it. Okay. I won't need to fiddle with that much else. Not yet, at any rate. Other things will come up for sure. Alrighty. Let's see, I got 116 in the bank. I think we're just going to hold that for the moment because I'm going to need more. We're going to take on... Ooh, that's a decent jaunt into the ring there. That one there, we're going to go for that one. And I do want to actually pay just a little bit more to get a little more accurate. The reason being is because that it's going to get us closer to our target. Okay. Yep, and let's go for it. Hopefully it drops us off super close. So I can show you guys what I mean here. There's a number of things you can find. Everything from current space stations in the rings themselves to large asteroids, miniature moons even. Derelict ships. It could be anything. If it's a derelict, we're in for some good money here. I've picked up 2 in my other games so far, and even though both of them were the same class as this ship, the K-37, they sold for a ton. Now, if nothing else, we're going to have some good mining, it looks like. Look at the color of those waves. We are in a good location. Oh, that is not close at all. Alright. We'll try again after that. Oh, that's disappointing. Yeah, there is some drift that does happen. Alright. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. 74 clicks is almost a half hour's worth of flight time at full speed, and I don't care to do that right now. So instead, we're going to focus on what's around us. Dang, that is disappointing. Alright. Like I mentioned, though, we are in a good location when it comes to mining, so we're going to take advantage of that. Look at all that purple color. Purple red color. Ooh, okay. That's palladium and mostly water. Iron. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the density doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be more high value things. But it does mean it's going to be more of it. Whatever it is. Dang, that's too bad about that LiDAR contact. I really wanted to show you guys something cool there. See, this is what I was talking about with the microwave emitter. It does take just a little bit of time. The mass driver, I would have had to have shot that rock twice, maybe 3 times, and it would have just come apart completely. One good thing about the arm is that I don't actually have to tell it to do anything. Because I told it what it's looking for, it's just going to do it. Regardless of whether or not I lock onto that target. And yes, I know that one got away. I don't really feel like chasing it down. Ooh, that is a good rock right there. So we're going to take that one. Yeah, stretch. Nomp. Stretch. That one. We're going to want to grab that one too. Alright, I'm going to maneuver myself away from those 2 ores. And then go for that one. By taking advantage of the momentum boost there, I was able to get that rock into the mouth of the ship just a little bit easier. You'll kind of get a figure for it. This will take just a little bit of getting used to. There is a lot of... like, a good amount of physics programming in this. It's really kind of impressive. You know something I keep forgetting to do? I keep forgetting to check the minerals market. By checking the minerals market, you can see what minerals are selling better. And you can make the decision on whether or not to sell all or just sell some. Like, I could potentially save, like, the palladium for later when it's fetching a better price. I can actually also save it and sell it to different habitats that I run into, those Ubuntu stations. Now, the keen of eye may have noticed that my little beam laser here isn't coming out of the center of the ship like my mass driver was. That actually has to do with the hardpoint location. And yep, that plays in too. Parallax is a thing. You can kind of see it when I zoom in on the ship there. The high stress mount is always mounted in the center of the ship, so it's closer to the center of gravity. And that's the manipulator arm right now. Where before it was that mass driver. The microwave emitter is on the left side of my ship. So it fires from the leftward angle. Oh, there's a little bit of platinum to grab. A decent amount of it, I would add, actually. So we are going to do that. We're going to slow ourselves down a little here so we don't overshoot it. Oh, okay. The arm grabbed the one, and I got the other. Teamwork. None of those are really worthwhile. Oh, well, the arm disagrees. It wants that platinum. To be fair, I did give it a line of anything over 2k in value. So it's doing its job. The only unfortunate part is it doesn't distinguish between if that 2k includes like 4k of water or not. A little surprised I haven't run into any beryllium on this trip. Lots of iron. Lots and lots and lots of iron. Well, my gravimetric scanner is not wrong about that. There's a lot of dense stuff around here. What are you folks thinking so far? You liking it? I hope so. By the visual feed, I've got somebody nearby. Who do I got? MSR or MRS 3527. This is Autonomous Edge Runner Universal Fury. You've been selected for an AT audit. Please open port and authorize my access to your internals. Now, the last game that I was playing, I had a crew member that had their own special thing. Artificial Threat Audit. In search of rogue artificial intelligence. I don't want to fight. The ship is just not set up for it, and they will royally mess me up. Oh, fine. They want to come out at my ship, whatever. No AI detected. Yeah, I know. Interestingly enough, you can use AI. I've actually found one in the other game. It had been set up as an autonomous mining rig, which my crew was not entirely happy about, to be perfectly blunt. The machines out here taking our jobs. But essentially, the poor thing had been lashed to a large, like, moonlit iceroid. And was just going to forever and ever and ever mine it. You could sell the burnt off oxygen as propellant, so you could actually purchase it from it, which was kind of cool. But the AI even told you flat out, like, hey man, I am not actually intelligent. I am close though. And apparently its business model even includes a provision in the event that its AI should become you know, fully intelligent, sentient. But it is not allowed to comment on whether or not it is, which I find hilarious. So I guess basically AI have rights, in a sense. They have rights to their own labor and work, which the company that was running that iceroid did not want. Guess we're getting a lot of platinum on this trip, which I'm okay with. Getting to the point I'll need to consider going back. And about 15 minutes out from where I should probably take a break. Sorry guys, I know you're used to those streamers that are on here for 5 or 6 hours, but I have a hard time sitting still that long. I typically try and cut it around 2.5 to 3 hours. Also gives you wonderful people time to process my videos and see what's out there. Because you can pause this. I can't, I'm here. This is now. This is the real world, folks. Sorry. I still remember back when I was a kid. I would hear it all the time. That, you know, playing games like this, playing Escape Velocity or others like it, oh, it's total waste. Total waste of your time, total waste of your energy. And the thing that I never just never understood it was that it never once felt like a waste. I was having fun. And is fun not worth your time and energy? Some people don't seem to think so. Especially not back in the 90s when I was growing up. It's a habit I'm trying to get out of. That guilt that if you aren't being productive, you don't mean a thing. I still struggle with it. My stepdad kind of burned that one into my skull. I mean that literally. Well, okay, not literally. He didn't actually burn me, but man, he was just, yeah. He was a jerk. He was a jerk. Alright, I see that my transit reserve is getting pretty close to my propellant. I might just go ahead and take this back. We're close to 100k. There's not a lot of room left in the processor. So we'll do that, and then we'll give another shot at trying to get to that big LiDAR contact. We'll work on this. See what we can do. And back to the station we go. Honestly, I love the world that this developer has put together for this. It's really nice. The full game is available online. Definitely pick it up. The demo is out there as well and could potentially be the entire game. I know it was at one point in time. So look into it, guys. DeltaV, Rings of Saturn. Alright, and I think we're just going to jump right back into it. We're going to try and hit that LiDAR contact. We're going to hit that one. Oh, I see. That's what happened. Oh, I had clicked allow drift. That does it. Alright, there we go. And we want to be accurate. We want to get there and check it out. Alright, well, let's go. Let's see if we can spot this thing. I hope it's a derelict. That would be a pretty sweet way to end the episode. Well, to end the stream, I guess I should say. Sorry, still not entirely used to the streaming. If you've been following my channel, you know I do typically just episodic videos. Either for single missions in MechWarrior Online or Deep Rock Galactic, things along those lines. Alright. Here we are. Clouds aren't looking very dense. I don't see any big contact on the LiDAR immediately. So let's check out with the astrogator. Alright, we are a little bit off, but not that far. 14 kilometers, which means about 4 minutes travel time at full speed. So it might take us about 5 to get there. We need to get to bearing 68. Now, if any of you are familiar with this, the bearings go along the circle here. So 0's up here, 90's where we're traveling. We want to be at 68. See? Set my orientation that way. And we set the boosters to where we're going. Currently we're traveling just around 36 meters per second. Which is cruising a little bit, but not out of control by any means. This may just take us a couple minutes, so we'll just keep on talking on the way. But what I was touching on earlier, guys. Games like this are definitely worthwhile in my opinion. Games in general are worthwhile in my opinion. I'm sure I don't really have to tell any of you this. If you're watching me on YouTube, you're probably a hopeless gamer like me. But really, if you're having fun, why not? I've tried to carry that same mission over with Tundra as well. I know you guys don't get to see him much on this channel, but we do share it. Tundra is my son. We started this channel years ago, and at the time, kids obviously weren't allowed to have a YouTube channel. So we decided to split it. I put my videos on, he puts his videos on, we let the audience just kind of enjoy it. For the most part, he uses it kind of as a staging ground. He plays a lot of Roblox, does a lot of developer work nowadays. So it puts together a good amount of videos for it. For his developer and moderation work. They don't typically end up publicly listed, but they are there. God, he would hate this game now that I think about it. See, I'm an old school person. I grew up around these kind of top-down RTS style games. There's this one here. I mean, well, obviously not this one. This one's new to me, but there was Escape Velocity, which I have mentioned numerous times because it is a similar game. I played that literally to death. Literally to death. I played EVE Online quite, well, I shouldn't say quite a bit. I tried for a few months before I kind of got burned out on it. I've done Elite Dangerous. I've played Endless Sky until I couldn't figure out what to do anymore. These are just kind of the games that I enjoy. Yeah, they are a little bit slow burn. You know, they're not the shoot 'em up excitement that that Tundra really enjoys. But they are fun. See, that right there is what I was talking about. Mouse steering with the autopilot. Oh, buddy, it's nice. Easily handled, easily managed. Cool part is that my orientation is not always the same as my bearing. So if I leave my orientation in the direction that I need to go, even if I have to go off in a different direction for a moment to avoid an asteroid, I can bring it right back. Just gotta make sure to not get going too fast, because again, this ship can't really do that. Alright, let's check and see here. We are super close. The contact has fallen off of my radar, which means that it is somewhere within 5 clicks of me. SRA 04. Hail. Really glad to see you, Cold Tyrant. We could use some processed vandanium. We are completely out of drone tool heads. Oh, okay. We'll get close so we can see this one. It's a station. It's an Ubuntu station. They are asking for processed vandanium. And unfortunately, I still don't have a processor on this ship, so I can't even give it to them. Now, from what I have seen in a couple of guides that were put out for this game, you can find them on Steam pretty easily. One of the best ways to get money in this game is actually to deal with these stations. So after you have a processor unit on your ship, you can travel out to these stations, and they will pay you a well, fairly decent amount for, you know, different things. This one wants vandanium. One that I ran into in the other game was looking for palladium. Or platinum, I think it was. Either way. So yeah, this is the Ubuntu habitat. If I wanted to dock with this, I would just get close. This manipulator arm here would grab my ship, and I would get locked into this spin. If I had a processor, it would sell off whatever they needed. And that would be about that. That's cool. So we're going to click this one just to friendly, because they are friendly. Fortunately, no mineral processor on board. Okay, so the V was not silver like I thought. It's vandanium. That makes a little more sense. See, I'm still learning too. But alright. Well, I suppose I'll have a little bit of mining to do before I head back to the station. I gotta make up the money for the trip here. At the least, which was about 36k if you remember correctly. Because I wanted to get close. Yo, that's a bit of tungsten. I'll take it. I'll take it. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Go, go, gadget manipulator arm. Yes, I age myself rather regularly with old references. You're just going to have to deal with it. It's who I am. It's part of my identity. Wait till I start quoting G.I. Joe and old school Lord of the Rings. Okay, not so much about G.I. Joe. I know a few of the meme things, but I never actually got to watch that one much. Wasn't around that much when I was a kid. My timeline, you're more looking at like Captain Planet. That's a decent chunk. I'll take that. Nope. Stretch. Couldn't quite get it. There it goes. Yomp. Oh, and there goes some beryllium. See what I mean? It just kind of flies away. That's why I need the tug drones. Gotta build up the money for that. And really to do that, I'm gonna need that processor unit. See, one of the things about these, the Ubuntu stations, they're not exactly, like, coded to avoid being kinda cheatery. So, like, one of the things that was mentioned in the guide is that you can find an Ubuntu station that needs a mineral that is stationed just outside of it. And for whatever reason, they can't or won't go get it. Looks like this one is not the case. I'm not seeing any Vandanium here. Oh, not quite. Come on now. There we go. All the grace of a toddler, I tell ya. You ever watch a toddler try and stick a dino chicken nug in his mouth and just instead slap his cheek? I have. Sorry, Tundra, I have many, many embarrassing stories of you as a small child. I don't share all of them. You're safe there. Man, a lot of iron here. A lot of iron. Now the music's changing, which can be somewhat concerning. Oh, the beryllium's headed in my direction. I got it. I got it. Catch. Yes. Because the music change typically signals a couple of things. It can signal an enemy nearby, an event happening nearby. In this particular case, it probably has to do with the Ubuntu station. Actually, let me check my radar contact just in case. Yeah, it's probably got to do with the Ubuntu station. Habit Ubuntu 4. You'll find a few of them out here, actually. The last file I found Ubuntu 4 and 3. Type beam message relay from Dr. Emmeline Smith. Alright, alright. Oh, okay. That's for me, Captain. Emmeline is my sister. Okay, okay. Cool. Man. Pilot's sister's a doctor. That's cool. Larissa, my research is done. Pick me up. Love, Emmeline. Sounds like we'll have a trip to go to. Thanks, Enchiladas. Captain, how would you feel about a little detour? We can cover your expenses. Source transponder said SR1. Which I think is going to be in Ubuntu. So that would be Saturn, Ring A, Station 1. I think it's one of the Ubuntu habitats. I wonder why she didn't include coordinates. Okay, so this is going to be another looking for a person thing. Since I don't have the coordinates to Ubuntu 1, I'm going to have to find them. Yeah, there's a couple of ways I could do that. I can wait for RNGesus to drop it as one of those large LiDAR contacts. Or I can talk to other ships as I run into them and ask. It'll be the miners I want to talk to specifically, they'll know. That's a good chunk of tungsten I'll take. Oh, come on now. Grab it before we run into that thing. Nope. This one might take a moment. Let's see what's in here. So yeah, the fact that my pilot didn't give me coordinates to SRA-1 means I'm going to have to find it. Which, that's a bummer. Oh, another beryllium. Ah, it's headed my direction. Sweet! Go, go, gadget arm! Heckin' yeah. Beryllium's worth every little piece you can pick. All iron, which I don't want. A lot of iron in the area. That's what the density's about. It's a decent chunk. Oh, that beryllium's heading the wrong direction. A little faster than I can grab, too. Now, was that the Ubuntu station? Did it grab the beryllium? Oh, don't tell me I've been hitting that with the... Oh no, I've been hitting that with the beams! No! I swear I'm not a bad guy. Oh, as I launch another chunk of beryllium at them. Great. Oh, shit. Yeah, they're angry at me. Gotta get back. Come on. Let's catch up with it if we can. It's not a whole ton of beryllium, but it's enough to whet my appetite. Beryllium doesn't take up much room, so I like picking it up when I can. Grab it. Yes. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, RNGesus, why? Why do you hate me so? I won't be going near the station at the moment, unfortunately. They are angry at me. Hopefully that changes next time I need to come back over here. I didn't realize that I was beaming them the whole time. Also didn't realize that they had beams. That's kind of cool. That one's not going that fast. I can catch it. get all that past the baffles. It looks like we might be getting close to out of room. No, not quite. Oh. Mass is getting a little bit higher than the thruster can manage. Yeah, I just gotta know where. Yeah, okay. Cool. Don't know where we need to go. You give me coordinates, Larissa, and we're totally on it, but until that point, I don't have much to go off of. Alright, I suppose we got close to 100k in there, so we will head back to the station. Oh, and honest truth, folks, I'll probably call it there for tonight. Get up, get moving, take care of my pups, get them some food, get me some food. Haven't done that in a little while. I've been on this computer a lot today. Between the large LARP Council of Monarchs meeting and now streaming, I've probably been on here about 8 hours today. So let's sell all that. That's getting us up to 248,000 credits. We're building stuff up. Oh, and I suppose before I leave, there is one thing I didn't get to show you. The ships. So here at the dealer, we can actually look at all the different ships that are for purchase. As you can see, we actually can trigger the option to turn in our ship to use as credit. So where I have 248,000 in the bank, I also have 390,000 in credit with turning in my ship. There's a few different designs. This here is known as the Eagle Prospector. It is a tube. Literally, it's a tube. It's got some definite benefits over the K-37 that I'm currently piloting. In particular, it's got that grinder up at the front, so it can actually grab larger asteroid pieces and kind of chunk, like, just tear them up, which is cool. It carries a bit more cargo, about 30 more than mine currently does, but you can have 6 crew on there. There's 2 low stress hard points, that would be like for the mining lasers that are currently on there on this one, and then 2 hard points for drone controllers. So this one actually is a fantastic mining ship. That's the one I've seen quite a few people use. This here is the Eon Interstellar. Stat-wise, like maneuverability-wise, it's not far off from the one that I've got currently. It has gimbaled thrusters though, so it is a bit more maneuverable. It's also got this whole thing is its jaw, so it can actually grab large things, which is cool. Then have the Antonov Titan Heavy Industries, which is a big chonker of a ship. Huge chonker of a ship. This would be the one you definitely want drone controllers on. It also has docking bays, so it can actually grab those little mining buddy ships, if you remember those. At least I believe that's what they're used for. I haven't gotten to do it yet. Let's see, we got a couple of the K-37s. K-37, K-37. Ah, the triplet. The Kothon 213. This is the ship I've got in the other game right now. It has these huge radiation fins, which kind of serve as the cooling for the reactor, if I remember correctly. It's not terribly maneuverable. It's really not. But it does hold a ton of stuff. 260 is its cargo bay, which is massive. That's 3 times what my current ship carries. The hysterical cow. So there's this crazy thing. So this is the cargo bay here in the center of it, and it actually rotates, which is interesting. I haven't got to use this one yet, but it does look pretty cool. It can mount 2 high-stress hardpoints, so you could have like 2 manipulator arms on there if you wanted. And this, I was hoping I was going to get to show you, is the Kitsune from Nakamura Dynamics. It is a much smaller ship. It only has a single low-stress hardpoint, and it only crews 3 people. It has a very tiny cargo bay on it, and can't hold that much as far as process stuff goes either. I fiddled around with it just kind of in testing. I'm trying to find the use for it. It is not terribly maneuverable. It doesn't have the large thrusters that the other ships do, so it can't get up to the same speeds. Yeah, I've been trying to figure it out. It's cute. I like it. It's cute. This is what it looks like. I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, and if you're seeing here, some of these have caution signs on them. That's because these ships were either derelict ones that were brought in, or ones that were sold in as trade. So they have bits and pieces that are damaged, and that is part of what's reducing the price on them, so you can actually pick these up a little bit easier. So like this one here is only worth 469,000, so if I wanted to turn in the Cold Tyrant, I would be able to afford that one and a bit more, probably for the repairs. The Slight Youth here, I could do the same thing. It's not damaged, but it doesn't have a lot on it either. Very basics. Got a mass driver. Yeah, that's really about it. Anywho, I just wanted to show that to you guys real quick. I am going to hop off for the night. I do hope you have a great night. Check out this game. Once again, it is Rings of Saturn, DeltaV. Well worth the look. Support the creator. Sounds like it's a pretty cool dude. He probably needs the support. If you're watching this dude, if you do catch this at all, I am mesmerized by this. This hits every little itch that I have been wanting for a space sim game. I love it. I love the work. Thank you. I'm going to keep playing this one. I am going to come back to stream it eventually, maybe even tomorrow night. Family's still out of town, so I've got a bit of free time. Anywho, though, good night, everybody. Have a good one. Stick around, though. I will be here for you. You will see more videos from me.